Yes, I've done it again. Another new tent. This one is one I've never seen before. You'll probably find this a wee bit unusual, and being a bit of a tentaholic, I couldn't resist, so I bought it just to have a wee look at it. That must be the brow pole, and then two main poles, I think. And a bunch of chunky pegs, and a pole repair tube as well. So kind of typical Y-shaped pegs. Should be pretty strong actually. Not the longest in the world, but they are very light. It's a shame they don't have pullers. Being an alpine tent, the pole sections look pretty chunky. I think they're 9.6mm, so they look pretty strong. The pole setup is kind of unusual in that it goes into a kind of rubberized hole. So your tent pole starts on the outside, goes through the inner of the inside, and then comes back out at the other side, as I'll just show you. So there you go, you see it coming out the far end of the tent, and then it just goes across and into the eyelet as normal. Now we need to get inside and straighten this up. Yeah, you can see it's a bit distorted. So what you've now got to do is attach the poles to the Velcro points just to straighten the whole structure out. I've started in the centre. I've actually just noticed the poles are actually dark NSL Featherlight, which is kind of surprising because somebody said it's Vaude's own poles, which they had some concerns about. So it's good to see these are DAC. The Velcro tab system is exactly the same as Black Diamond ones. There's two clips at the front on the poles here which clip on. Then you've got to feed in the brow pole here, which just goes through this channel. Should come out the other side. There you go, and clip it into the eyelets. That's that in place, majorly drum tight. Looks good. Should stop rain dripping into the inner, give you a wee bit of protection. Then you've got the usual buckles and eyelet to go over the end of the pole, like so, and just tension them up. Nice big pegging loops, so you could use an axe or a ski maybe, as well as a peg. There's a kind of wee aerodynamic tail end to it as well. Sheds wind, and it has a zip inside where you can store gear. Put boots under there or whatever, maybe even a wee rucksack. As is often the way, it's 4 pegs short, well 3 pegs short actually. I'm just assuming that's Vaude for you, and they just don't give you the same number of pegs you really need to guy everything. Quite typical with a lot of manufacturers. So there you go, it's up. To show you a wee look around. There you go, quite streamlined. 2 big vents on top, breathable upper, sill nylon lower, and with taped seams, which is quite unusual on sill nylon, which is very difficult to do, but apparently Vaude, however you say it, have found a way to do it. So it is 100% waterproof. I have tested it over 24 hours just to see how it struggled in rain, but it was absolutely fine, unlike a lot of assault tents. Right. Space-wise, nice and high. Feels quite roomy inside actually. I wouldn't say it's the widest. I think it's 120 wide. I'll take 2 mats, okay, but it's not the widest. But plenty of headroom right across a lot of the tent, which is good. So it feels quite airy, quite spacious. The yellow colour really helps. The breathable fabric that it uses on the top here all the way down to the halfway point seems to be a kind of, it's almost like a fibrous inner, which I think it's designed to hold water a wee bit better without dripping before it evaporates through the fabric. There's your wee zippable boot at the back there, so this can be opened completely or just opened with the mesh still in place, so no bugs. Which is always great on an assault tent. It just means you can use it more in other seasons. And as you can see, just to show you, the pole disappears through the tent and then back out again and outside. Kind of unusual the way they do it. The inner door has kept out the dirt so it ties to the side. That's the inner door closed completely, and you can see the top half has no seam mesh. So again, you can vent it a bit better. I'll show you that open. There you go. So half a mesh door on it as well, which is more flexible, as well as the mesh vent at the front, mesh vent at the back, which can be zipped close to stop snow drift getting in, spin drift. And I guess you could use that for hanging a lantern as well as just tying the poles off. Interestingly enough, there's a side vent on either side here which you cannot close completely. It's fairly small, but it does allow an amount of through flow of air. So I don't know how chilly that would get in very cold conditions. You've got normal breathable inner fabric, DWR treated polyester, ripstop, like you would get in any conventional two-skin tent, and it's taped to the breathable upper part. And this whole area here can be rolled up to the halfway point, so you can let air circulate around it as if you only had the inner tent up. I'm not going to do that today just because it's so cold. Another thing I've noticed actually, it's a very generous length, which is good. So with the two mats pushed up against the front door, there's about another foot of length in that, which is one of the longest inners I've seen in a while. It'll probably make it a wee bit more bearable to sleep two up, because one of you could slide further down that way or go head that way, and the other one's feet can move up this way. So it probably is easier to sleep in than the narrowness would suggest at 120 centimetres. So there you go, a bit of an unusual one, about £600 new, but it's been discontinued, so I really bought it for a wee bit of research into some of my own tent designs and materials. Whether I keep it or not, I'm not sure, or I may put it up for sale. But it's a cracking bit of kit. It's interesting that they discontinued it, I'm not sure why. Maybe it was very, very expensive to produce. There's a lot of work in this and a lot of mixed materials and taping, so I suspect it wasn't very economical. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions on this wee unusual beastie, drop me a line. I think it'll be hard to get, but maybe some of you out there might fancy one. Cheers just now.